What's up, everybody? The chef has taken some time off from cooking on X to join you all today. I had some friends reach out to me and they were like, you got to check out Zach's Twitter. It was in our group message chat and they were like, it's electric right now. Anyway, I'm here for you, but we got to get into it today. Let's try to keep our cool though. Let's do our best. We'll start here. Candace Owens, based on information about Erika Kirk's assistant, called on the police to bring Erika Kirk in for questioning. And the internet has absolutely exploded over this and are calling for Candace's head. The Candace haters are out in full force today, and I'm going to show you why we don't really need to be losing our minds over this. What I am striving not to lose my mind over, though, is the fact that Carrie Prejean Boller was fired by Dan Patrick, the president of the White House Religious Liberties Commission, making this announcement on X as you're about to see. And it is incredibly bad. And we, Orthodox Christians, who have kept to the fundamentals of our faith for more than 2,000 years, which is the high majority of Christians, not just in the United States, but worldwide. We can accept this no longer. Now is the time. Enough is enough. We're going to start with a short clip from her exchange yesterday, which sets up the needed context for the statement made by Dan Patrick, because he is the one who cuts her off here at the end of this clip. And it proves just how utterly ridiculous and angering this is. Well, for anyone who isn't a Zionist, at least. I'm Zach Costello.
Just to be clear, is anti-Zionism anti-Semitism?
Yes.
It is under IHRA?
Rabbi, sure. You're up next.
You're not sure? So what is the definition?
I would love to speak to that. Undoubtedly, anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, and undoubtedly, and one does not have to support the specific policies of the government of Israel, but to not support the right of Israel to exist, which is what anti-Zionists do, while not taking that same stand to the 28 Muslim countries and 13 Christian countries in this world, is a double standard, is hypocrisy, and is absolutely anti-Semitism.
Well, as you know, I'm a Catholic, and Catholics do not embrace Zionism, just so you know. So are all Catholics anti-Semites, according to you?
As I said, anti-Zionism, by denying the right of the Jews to have their own state while not saying the same for any other peoples, that is a double standard, hypocrisy, and anti-Semitism.
So just to be clear, are Catholics anti-Semites?
Carrie, excuse me. I'm going to interrupt the discussion. Our committee is focused on religious liberty taken from all people, whether they be Muslims, Jews, Christians, Sikhs. We've had all those witnesses here. This is not a commission on defining religions or calling out any theology, or this is not the commission for that.
Right, but we're talking about a foreign nation, so I want to be clear on what the definition of anti-Semitism is. If I don't support the political state of Israel, am I an anti-Semite? Yes or no?
All right, so this is our boy right here. That's Dan Patrick. But the rewrite of history that is occurring here by Zionists and reiterated in this statement on her firing from this Religious Liberties Commission is that she hijacked the hearing for her own personal gain and political agenda. You guys just saw it right there with your own eyes. She literally stated, because of my faith, I don't believe in Zionism. Does this make me anti-Semitic? Which is a great question, because she is asking if her right to exercise her own religious belief is at risk of not being protected by the First Amendment. Not only is this a great question, it's a critically important question. So now here is the statement from Dan Patrick, who is the Lieutenant Governor of Texas and the president of this commission. He says, Carrie Prejean Boller has been removed from President Trump's Religious Liberty Commission. No member of the commission has the right to hijack a hearing for their own personal and political agenda on any issue. This is clearly, without question, what happened Monday in our hearing on anti-Semitism in America. This was my decision. I swear, man, these people act like we don't see this stuff. We'll continue. The commission has done outstanding work through 5 hearings. 2 more are scheduled. The testimony has been both illuminating and heartbreaking. Heartbreaking for sure. Under the Biden administration, Americans of all faiths had their religious liberty not only stolen from them, but were often punished for standing up for their faith in education, the military, the private sector, and even the ministry. Funny, I remember conservative or traditional Christians being labeled as extremists under the Biden administration. Looks like we're not getting any help from these guys. This spring, he continues, the commission will deliver one of the most important reports in American history directly to the president. Oh boy. The president respects all faiths. He believes that all Americans have the right to receive the great inheritance given to them by our founding fathers in the First Amendment. I'm grateful to President Trump for having the vision and boldness to create this commission. Fighting for the word of God and religious freedom is what this nation was founded upon. Leading this fight will be one of his greatest legacies. Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, chair of President Trump's Religious Liberty Commission. And there it is, Trump's Religious Liberties Commission. President Trump caved once again to the Zionist lobby. This is completely unacceptable. This is shameful that one religious group gets to gatekeep a federal Religious Liberties Commission. And if you disagree with said group, you're ousted. Conservative Christians who do not ascribe to Zionist ideology have no representation on this Religious Liberties Commission. It is Zionist acceptable or you're off. This is the message to all of us. And it tells us that the Trump administration and his White House Religious Liberties Commission agrees that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. This means that 92% of Christians worldwide who believe Jesus is the Jewish Messiah and that biblical Israel is not the current nation state of Israel are anti-Semites. You also have the twisting and changing of the definition of Zionism, which is the ideology, again, that the current state of Israel is the biblical Israel, and they have covenantal land rights, and that this is the promised land by God. We know this is the real definition because of what Zionists in our own government and media tell us about Israel when they say, my Christian faith says those who bless Israel will be blessed and those who curse Israel will be cursed. This is the Ted Cruz, Mike Huckabee, evangelical Christian Zionism that we hear time and time again. They disguise and wrap it up with, it only means that Israel has a right to exist and that Jewish people deserve a home. Guys, that's not Zionism. Look, those who oppose Zionism are not saying that Israel should not be a sovereign country. What we are saying is that we do not believe the biblical Israel is the current nation state of Israel. And therefore, Israel does not get biblical carte blanche to do anything in the name of Israel with God's blessing. Christians should view Israel like we view Switzerland and make objective and strategic decisions about whether or not we should be supporting them as a Christian or American ally. Having an objective argument about whether or not Israel is a good strategic ally in the Middle East is much different than you are a bad and evil person on the path to Nazism and consumed with darkness if you do not support Israel. How dare you? God never turns on his covenants and promises. This is how we're gaslit. Even more, you're an anti-Semite. And therefore, we're going to censor and silence you. We're going to wage lawfare against you. We're going to clip the wings off your religion and belief system. And we're going to water it down so that it doesn't pose any threat to us. We're going to set up an infrastructure so powerful, there is nothing you can do about your dissenting beliefs. And those of you who do speak up, you're out. You're done. Look at Carrie Prejean Boller. Or even worse, look at Charlie Kirk and the way they treated him in the last months of his life. Now, before we get to Candace Owens and Erika Kirk, we're going to take a quick break for today's sponsor. Smile, everybody. This threat to your smile is something that is silently happening to your gums. More than 78% of people worldwide experience gum recession that develops slowly over time. In the United States, nearly 50% of adults over 30 already show signs of gum disease. And by the age of 65, that number reaches almost 60%. Gum loss is not just cosmetic. It exposes tooth roots, increases sensitivity, can lead to decay and even tooth loss. The problem is that the standard toothpaste do not rebuild gum tissue. Many mask symptoms, never addressing the root cause, and consist of fluoride and harsh additives. Smile changes everything. It is the first ever fluoride-free peptide toothpaste designed to assist in the reversal of gum loss at the source. Peptides like BPC157 and GHKCU support natural tissue repair. Nanohydroxyapatite strengthens and remineralizes teeth. Whiten without peroxide while soothing botanicals like blue spirulina and aloe vera calm sensitive gums. The result is stronger gums, healthier teeth, and a brighter smile. Get 10% off plus free shipping. Head to twc.health/Zach and use code Zach. That's twc.health/Zach and use code Zach to get 10% off plus free shipping for U.S. residents only. Okay. Wow. Candace Owens haters are out in full force today. And if you missed it, here is what she said that has gotten her into so much trouble. Candace found out that the best friend of Erika Kirk, Tracy Martin, has a daughter who is Erika Kirk's assistant. And listen to what Candace is now able to confirm about Tracy Martin's daughter.
We introduced to you Erika's best friend for over 15 years, a woman by the name of Tracy Martin. Now, we were working off of a tip that Tracy may have been with Erika when Erika got the call from Elizabeth and Mikey McCoy, because they were both on the phone, even though that was never revealed to the public until later. Tracy, I am told, because she's privatized her public profiles, but I am told that she has denied that claim. Okay, let's assume Tracy's telling the truth and that she was not with Erika on September 10th. That's not even relevant to what we're about to reveal to you, because what Tracy cannot deny is that her daughter is indeed Erika's assistant. I've confirmed that. And I want to be very clear here that this young woman did nothing wrong. She's not done anything wrong. I'm intentionally choosing not to name her daughter because I don't want people to stalk her, to reach out to her, or to try to learn anything about her life. She, like I said, has done nothing wrong. And in many ways, she's just beginning her life, okay? She doesn't get to choose who her parents are, and who among us would not jump at an opportunity to go work with the wife of the CEO of a massive student organization like Turning Point USA. You would accept that job gleefully. That's a wonderful opportunity in life. So I just want to overstate here that this young woman needs to be left entirely alone, okay? Choosing not to name her. However, it is a fact that she was supposed to go to UVU on September 10th. I remind you, this is Erika's assistant. And it sort of tracks, given Erika's public admission, that she too was considering going. But remember, Charlie told her, home needs you. Home needs you. So she was instead going to go meet him at the next event, which was in Colorado, slated for later that week. Charlie did not want her to go to the UVU event because the kids needed her. Home needs her. But he totally wanted her to become the chairman and the CEO of the company in his absence, right? Like that totally tracks. That makes perfect sense. Anyway. But the reason that Erika's assistant and her mother, Tracy, Erika's best friend, told people in their orbit something quite interesting, actually. The reason that they told her that they didn't go is different from the reason that Erika didn't go, obviously. Tracy and her daughter told people that Tracy had a bad feeling. Like I told you, we've confirmed that. Tracy had a bad feeling, and so she stopped her daughter from going to UVU. This is now confirmed. It's a fact.
Okay. Well, I did chuckle and find it funny that Charlie Kirk told Erika to stay home, and that home needed her instead of going to UVU, yet simultaneously wanted her to step in and become America's new boss babe, if anything ever happened to him, according to the journals. But methinks that Charlie prioritized the motherhood and a more conservative Christian point of view. Anyways, Candace haters, like I said, are losing their minds over this, saying everyone owes Ben Shapiro an apology. Candace is accusing Erika Kirk of murdering her husband. See, it's right there. She just did it. Everybody relax, okay? All Candace is saying is that because Erika Kirk's assistant did not show up to work and go to UVU that day like she was supposed to, because she sensed danger, she was told not to go out of a fear of danger, that Erika, Tracy Martin, and this assistant should be questioned by the police in a murder trial, in a murder investigation. It's not really that complicated. And it really just makes sense. However, we do not operate in a world where common sense or truth seeking is common. All right, let's get to some of your guys' comments. I am Jinx. Thank you. It's good to be with you. I missed you the last 2 days. Well, thank you for joining us today. I missed you. Guys, between 2 and 3 p.m., that's my target to get on every Monday through Friday. So I appreciate you joining me, and I appreciate you joining me live. Okay? We go through the show, and then we get to comments and super chats. If you leave me a super chat, I guarantee you I will get to your comment. And then if your comment's good and it catches my attention, I'll also try to get to that as well. So make sure you get your super chats in. It's also a great way to support the channel, and YouTube really likes it. But normally the way that I like to structure these is I'll go for maybe about 20, 30 minutes, depending on what's going on and what I want to bring to you guys today that I feel is relevant and within the interest of kind of what we're all joining together here for. And then I'll go through comments and try to get through those in maybe 15 to 20 minutes and just kind of have more of a free flow conversation with everybody here. There's been some good moments, I think, in the comments. I think it's good for us to just kind of go back and forth. And also, I've had people ask me like, hey, when this starts, like you're looking up here, actually, this is like kind of where I have my screen set up where I see all the comments. So it kind of takes my eyes away from the camera, but that's what I'm looking at. So Ice Impress. At this point, I consider being called anti-Semitic a badge of honor. The right is no better than the left. The left abuse racism. The right abuses anti-Semitism. Those words mean nothing. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We're changing the definition on these things to where they are no longer meaningful. Racism, calling someone a Nazi, calling someone a misogynist, calling someone an anti-Semite, these words don't mean anything anymore because they've been completely watered down and overused in our culture, applying them to people that actually are not these things. And when you do that, it takes away what the actual words and definitions mean. Okay, so this is one of the main problems that we have. And what's funny about this is you have so many people on the right, we can call it the Zionist right, who turn around and say the woke right. They refer to a segment of the right as the woke right when they are the ones, in fact, who are using these terms and this language precisely how the woke left used to use or still does use these terms in this language. And they don't see it. They don't see the truth. They do not have Christ. We have the mind of Christ, which keeps us in the truth and allows us to discern. It's very important. These things that we believe are not just pie in the sky ideas. This isn't just a once a week thing that we do every week to check the box on Sunday. No, this is an actual way of life that leads us to, that keeps us grounded and in the truth and on the path toward our Creator, which is where we're all trying to get back to. This is real stuff. It's the most real, and it's the most reliable. Joe Sheets, the rag man. So under Biden, I'm a white supremacist, and under Trump, I'm anti-Semitic. Got it. There it is, right there. I put a post up on X, like I said, as I was cooking on X today. It's actually doing really well. If you guys don't follow me on X, make sure you get over there and do it. My account's kind of building up over here. I have a way bigger presence on YouTube. That's where I focus the majority of my time. But recently, I have been focused on X to engage more in the conversation that's going on there. So if you guys don't follow me there, hop over there and make sure you do. Just kind of quicker hitting stuff than I do here. But one of the things that I said today is that we conservative Christians are stuck in a very dangerous position. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And that rock and a hard place, that dangerous position, is we're stuck between a Zionist Republican right who hates us, and then we're stuck on the other side from a God-hating left that hates us, right? So we're in this really dangerous position, especially politically speaking. And again, I keep saying this, we need to come together and organize, galvanize this strong base of conservative believers, of conservative Christian believers that we have, to ensure that our rights are protected and that our voice is heard. This is one of the biggest things, the biggest problems with this Carrie Prejean Boller. They think that our voice doesn't matter. This is what they're telling us. They're telling us that you don't get a say. Thanks for the comment. True Blue, I have no objection to actual Zionists and non-Zionist Jews having their own state. I object to them wanting to acquire the greater Middle East and use the U.S. as their attack dogs. I think that's a fair point. I think it's a fair point. Like, see, look, I can, if I don't object to, look, Jews, the Jewish religion, just they've chosen not to accept Jesus as the Messiah. We disagree with that. So there's a fundamental disagreement between Christians and Jews. But if you're Jewish, because people are Jewish, if you're Jewish, you would believe that Christ is not the Messiah, that Christ is not the Jewish Messiah, and that the covenant of the promised land continues with you, that the state of Israel would be you as a Jew would believe that the current state of Israel is the nation state of Israel from the Old Testament. There's a biblical match there. And that the current land would be your promised land. It's like, look, okay, you believe that. I can accept that. We can agree to disagree. Like, this is the world that Christianity has created. Thank you very much. Is a world where we can agree to disagree on these things. Okay. I think that Jewish believers and Christian believers should still have rights. In America, they should have equal rights. The problem is we are not treated equally. This is becoming very obvious right now. We are not on a level playing field here. The Zionist government in the current state of Israel operates like a neocon warmongering machine that many people have a problem with. And then they turn around and say any criticism or any dissent is anti-Semitic. And they always are constantly playing that card. And then if you have any dissent in America about support, it's not treated objectively. It's not an objective argument that people have. They gaslight you and tell you how evil you are. Look, we have people of different cultures, of different religions that have rights that should be treated as people with dignity. Nobody's saying that we shouldn't be doing that. Nobody's saying that Israel shouldn't be a state. They shouldn't be a sovereign state. Well, I can't say nobody's saying that, but as far as the Orthodox Christian belief goes, we believe that Jews should have rights, just like Christians do. And that the church believes that the current state of Israel is a sovereign nation. It is by definition. but what we are constantly, how we are treated if we do not agree with the Zionist belief, which is a religious belief rooted in Judaism, because that's ultimately a Jewish religious belief. And if we don't agree with that, we're now considered anti-Semites, which is a problem because then they wage lawfare against us, which is what they're doing. And they move to silence us. They're moving to repeal Section 230 so they can silence terrorists and extremists online. They can hold these platforms accountable. They can sue social media companies if they allow for extremists to, if they allow extremist rhetoric. You see the dangers here. You see the dangers. And this is what we speak up about. And speaking up for ourselves, speaking up for our beliefs, they then turn around and say that we're anti-Semitic for doing so. It's a no-win situation in the world that we're in right now. Our backs are against the wall. It's a big problem. Crazy amount of Zionists on my X feed today. Yeah, obviously same. And I have just obviously had enough of it. And I decided that I was going to jump in and put the gloves on and battle today on behalf of our faith. And I did so. Go check it out. But yeah, they are just popping up like crazy. I see the amount of Zionists and Candace haters that I see every time I pull up X is just insane, man. I love the Smile toothpaste from the wellness company. It works. Yeah, it does. Like I said, guys, the things that I bring here from a sponsorship standpoint and the companies that reach out to me, I really do try to make sure they are going to add value to your life. And the wellness company is a good one. It was founded by Dr. Peter McCullough, who was very outspoken and persecuted and basically crucified during COVID for coming out against the COVID vaccine. Yeah, so it's a company that shares in my values. I take my health seriously. I value my health, and I think everybody should. We talked about it. We've talked about it before. This is our body. This is our temple that God has given us so that we can do His will and contribute to building heaven on earth in this world. So we got to take care of it. Thank you for that. Shannon, thank you. Zach, what do you think it's like behind the scenes at Turning Point USA right now? Will Erika Kirk step down? That's a good question. I personally think that there's probably significant divide at Turning Point USA. I would probably guess, just given how large of an organization it is, it's probably operating just like the American people are, or at least just like the right in America is operating right now. I think there's probably a lot of really kind of good guys that really want to know the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk and aren't thrilled with the direction that Erika is taking it in right now. And then you've probably got, the Zionist lobby that's in there that are like, nah, like we're full tilt. We're doing what Charlie wanted. This is the legacy that he wanted to build. He was an unwavering supporter of Israel. All these Zionist donors, like, yeah, bring it all in. Like again, the divide on the right now, I guarantee you that Turning Point USA is probably a microcosm of what's going on at the larger scale on the right now. Will Erika Kirk step down? I have no idea. That's interesting to think about, but who knows? We'll see. I'm certainly not a fan of the direction that she's taking it in right now. Elaine, thank you for joining me once again. Thank you. Unreal. Dan fired Carrie. Brainwashed people are praising his ex post. What can I write in comments and who can I tag besides Trump quoting his post? Yeah, I don't know. Good question. I mean, the post that I've put out, a lot of people have tagged Vice President J.D. Vance, who I called out because he's a Catholic, like Carrie is. Hey, what's going on, man? Speak up for us. Like, you have a responsibility to stand up here for conservative Christians. Like, what are you doing? A lot of people have tagged the White House, press secretary. We can only do what we can. We are louder and taken more seriously when we are organized. And I hate to say it, but Orthodox Christians, conservative Christians, we have not done a very good job. We've not done a very effective job at organizing to where we can really have lobbying influence. We're getting beat. That's just what it comes down to. So we have work to do for sure. Granny, recommend the Catholic AI Magisterium. I'm assuming you're saying can't recommend it enough. Use it to present logical, well-grounded arguments about the difference between Catholic Christian belief and Christian Zionist belief regarding Israel. I've not used AI Magisterium. I've seen it advertised on different content creators' platforms. I've not tried it. Maybe I will. Thanks for letting me know about it. And thanks for putting the comment in here. It's always good and helpful to have resources at your disposal when it comes to fighting for our faith. Okay? We want to make sure that our faith, we want to make sure that what we are arguing is within the truth. And we're not making up our own theology as we go, because this gets us in trouble. Okay? That's what Christian Zionism, that's how it all came about. False teaching. Thank you for that. I'm going to check that out. I've heard good things about it. Go Brown. Please reach out to Baron Coleman. He's Catholic and has done amazing work on CK and EK, Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk. You should ask to interview him. Christ is King. I appreciate that. I've seen some stuff come across with Baron Coleman. I've not connected with him. We don't know each other. Yeah, interesting. I mean, maybe we can connect to do an interview. I'll be honest with you guys, like, doing interviews is tough for me right now. I've got 5 kids. I run another small business. I do this live show with you guys every day. Coach my son's baseball. I like to get to the gym. You know, I like to sleep. Preparing for the show takes a lot of work. So fitting in kind of other things like that, like as much as like I know that I need to increase my network for sure when it comes to peers in the space, and when it comes to just, you know, people in the political and media sphere. I know no one. I don't know anybody. I started doing this by myself. I still am by myself. It's just me in here in this, you know, incredible studio that I have here. And I started this from scratch. Like literally, I started talking into this camera, well, an older camera, with 0 subscribers. And I looked like an idiot for a long time. And I have just continued on day by day, putting videos out every single day. So I don't know anybody. And I know that I need to increase my network, but it's just hard because because there's a lot to do in the day. And I feel like fitting in like a 1 to 2 hour interview is very difficult for me time-wise right now. Because if I did that on the course of a day, then I probably wouldn't be able to get this show done, to be honest with you. Or something would have to, like, I wouldn't be able to work out, or I wouldn't, you know, be home late or something. Like, you know, you say yes to one thing and you say something else has to go. That's just the way life works. There's only so much time in the day. Here's what I'll ask you guys though. Shout if you're watching their shows, let me know. Shout me out. Shout me out when they're on when you're on their shows listening to them. Hit them up in their super chats. You're mentioning Baron Coleman here. This would probably, you know, obviously he's on my radar now because you're letting me know about him. Do the same if you're watching these other shows. Hit up Candace, hit up Baron Coleman. If it's the right person, then I will certainly make the time to do an interview so that we can exchange ideas and maybe fill in some gaps on some things that we're missing here. But I appreciate your comment. Thank you. Mrs. Star G, as hardcore MAGA for the last 10 plus years, I'm really struggling with Trump, the files in Israel. Any advice? Thank you, Zach. Homeschool mama. I share your pain. It's no secret that I was an adamant Trump supporter during the election cycle. I was so excited for this administration. I was so pumped. I really believed Trump was going to go in there on behalf of the American people. Like this was like the working class movement. This was the anti-establishment movement. And I truly believe that Trump was that guy who couldn't be bought because he had built businesses, and he was going to go in there and he was going to get the American government working back on behalf of the American people. He was taking in Elon Musk and this whole cabinet of A players that I just really believe were going to go in and just kind of and uproot the system. Everybody that he brought in, I was a fan of. I really was. I still think, for the most part, that RFK Jr. is doing a pretty good job on the Make America Healthy Again side of things. It's not been perfect, but I think that he's still doing a pretty good job there. But I'm with you. The files were just a betrayal of the American people, and we know that they were serious because they told us that they were. We know they're bad because this is what they told us. Like Pam Bondi came out and said straight up months ago, and I just talked about this on a few shows ago. She was on Jesse Waters' Fox News telling us that there's 250 plus victims, and what they did was disgusting. And the names in here you wouldn't believe. Like, she literally said all of these things on Fox News. Dan Bongino spent years telling us that we should never give up on the Epstein files, and because there's something there. And now they sit here and turn around and say, oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it, and we're moving on. This is a betrayal of the American people. This is a betrayal of us. The anti-establishment, get the deep state out, dismantle the military-industrial complex, root out all the fraud and waste. Like, that's who we are, and that's we wanted Trump to go in on our behalf to get the American government working back for us. And what he chose with this Epstein file release, what they botched, is that he chose the elites over us. And that's just a middle finger back to us. And for some reason, they just can't seem to understand that. It's not really that complicated. But I agree. The file's massive disappointment. And then, yes, Israel and the Zionist lobby. To be honest with you, this Carrie Prejean Boller situation is basically the final straw for me when it comes to believing that Trump is bought by the Zionist lobby. This is it. This is completely unacceptable. We're being told right here as conservative Christians, and like I said, I've said this many, many times, conservative Christians means that we are conserving or reliant upon or built upon the Orthodox Christian teachings. Christianity for the first 1,000 years. That's what it is. That's what we're looking to conserve. That's who we are here. That's what I'm fighting for, at least. He told us that we don't matter. We don't get representation on that White House Religious Liberties Commission. We're being told that our faith takes a back seat to another. We're being told, and it's proven, that we're not on a level playing field when it comes to religious rights in America. So you hear these Zionists repeat time and time again, oh, you're an anti-Semite because you don't believe that Jewish people deserve a safe home anywhere after World War II and after the Holocaust and after what the Nazis did. How terrible. Well, here we are in America, where we're supposed to have equal rights amongst religions, and we don't. We don't. Zionists get first priority. Everybody else takes a back seat. Yeah, what about Christians, you know? What about a safe haven and a safe place for Christians to practice our faith authentically? Where's the place where Orthodox Christians can practice our faith authentically? It's not America right now. It's not America. 70 million Christians have been killed for their faith since the time of Christ. We're not safe anywhere, guys. It's ridiculous. And I agree with you. I agree with you. Any advice? Yeah. Yeah. We got to organize effectively, set up our infrastructure so that our voice is loud and strong and we make our dent. We make our dent. We need to organize and galvanize to make a cross-shaped dent in the United States government. I just thought of that. I like that. Thank you. Elaine, again, Barron is good, but 3 hours long. Why Catholic label? Yeah, no, he does. I've seen that. It looks like he does a longer show. I don't go that long. I think 45 minutes is what I found is kind of about what I like to go. Over an hour is a little long for me. Zeta, thank you. I like Baron Coleman and Coach Colin, and you are my favorite. Thank you. Because I think you are more to the point with less chatter in between. But I like Colin's doodly do. I've seen a few clips of Coach Colin. He actually was commenting on some of my cooking today. He took some bites of the Zach Costello Orthodox Christian meal that was being cooked up on X. I appreciated that. I gave him a follow. It'd be nice if he follows me back. I haven't seen that, but I haven't been on X for the last couple hours since I've been really preparing for this. Maybe the last hour and a half. Maybe the last hour. I don't know. How much time has gone by? 42 minutes? Okay, so probably about that long. I don't want to. I'm living in truth here, okay? But you are my favorite because I think you're more to the point with less chatter in between. Thank you. Again, my goal is to go 45 minutes. That's where I'm at here. I understand. Look, talking is fun. I really enjoy doing this show. I really do. I love it. But we all only have so much time in the day, right? It's good to get updated, and then it's good to get off social media and go and live in the real world and do the work that God made us to do, right? This is the goal of this is to keep you guys informed of what's going on, to organize our voices. But again, then we have other things that we need to get to throughout the day. Hopefully we have marriages, families, we got jobs, you know? But thank you for that. Thank you for telling me that I'm better than Baron Coleman and Coach Colin. I'm coming for you, Candace. I'd be lying if I didn't say I wanted to be the best in the world, but that's up to God, not me. Somewhere in WA, Washington, F Trump, he killed MAGA for Netanyahu. It's kind of the way I feel right now, too, to be honest. After this White House Religious Liberties Commission, after Trump's Religious Liberty Commission just did this to Carrie Prejean Boller, who literally all she did, you guys, all she did was say, as a Catholic, who, not even that, she's just asking, as someone whose faith dictates that I oppose Zionism, that I do not believe in Zionism, is that anti-Semitic? That's a phenomenal question on the Religious Liberties Commission at the federal level, from the federal government. Because it means the federal government should probably protect the religious rights of those people too. It's a great question. And for her to be booted off that, oh my gosh. When I saw that she was fired, I was so mad. I was so mad. I feel like I'm doing a good job keeping my cool here, though. But I agree. Granny, everybody about Magisterium AI. It includes direct links to docs, the catechism, scripture, church fathers, etc. I don't get paid for any of it, promise. Appreciate you. Thank you. No, I think that's again a good resource for us to be able to use. Maybe a trusted AI versus like when you go into like a Chat GPT or any of those other ones, then there's probably a chance that there's going to be some bias stuff in there. So no, I appreciate you. Thank you for letting everybody know about that. I don't get paid from it either. So here you go. Maybe I should. Maybe I should reach out to him and be like, hey, I'm talking about you guys on my show, and it seems like we might align from a value standpoint. What's up? You guys want to do something? I'll let my agent who handles the advertising know about that. Thank you though. Scooch, generous. Thank you. Appreciate you. Zach, definitely follow up with Barron. I'm not sure he knows of you. And I saw the other day someone mentioned you on the feed. If you can reach out or make sure you're known to him, it would help you and your movement. All right. I appreciate you. I mean, a number of you guys are saying it. Cool. Maybe I'll try to reach out. It would help also too if you guys are watching this show to blow it up too. I mean, he probably gets a lot of emails. I know how many emails and I know how much that I get on a daily basis. It's hard to get back to everybody. I mean, I try to at least give a response, but that's impossible. So, yeah, again, I'll reach out, and you guys think that if you think that it's going to be a fruitful conversation for us both to have, then let's have it. Let's have it. Thank you. Sean, if EK Ladd had passed instead, police would question Charlie Kirk. Yeah, Candace made this point yesterday, and I agree. If Erika, if the situation were reversed and Erika had been assassinated like Charlie was, there's no question, especially with kind of the way that it's been handled and all the lies that have come out. I think that it not only would the police be questioning Charlie Kirk in this scenario, but the whole public would be like, absolutely, do it. It wouldn't even be a question. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Elaine, again, thank you. Trump has been with Bibi. Haven't trusted him since he was pushing his warp speed poison over fighting for meds he took. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, I saw this. I mean, Bibi Netanyahu obviously got off the plane last night. I think what's interesting to think about as far as that goes is, remember back in June when we had that Iran situation that was going on then, Charlie Kirk went to the Oval Office to talk to President Trump about what the best strategy would be that was most digestible and acceptable for the American people. And Charlie told Trump that doing a large-scale invasion or a large-scale war effort in Iran was a bad idea and that the American people would not tolerate it. And President Trump listened to Charlie Kirk, and they did a strategic airstrike, which was, quick and effective, you can say. At least that's what Charlie argued at the time. You guys can go and watch his show and see him say that we saw the precision of the American government working out. And he advised Trump on that foreign policy, which defied Bibi Netanyahu. So imagine, I think I talked about this yesterday, imagine Bibi Netanyahu finding out that Charlie Kirk advised President Trump to go against his wishes. Uh-oh. I bet Bibi wasn't too happy about that. So then I said on X today, as a part of my cooking, that's apparently the theme of today's show, Charlie's gone, and Bibi Netanyahu arrives in Washington. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Do you guys think that Erika Kirk is in the Oval Office advising President Trump on what the American people are going to find acceptable when it comes to coming to terms with Bibi Netanyahu right now? Yeah, I don't think she's there. Or if she is there, she don't know. It's not going to be good advice, that's for sure. Because she ain't Charlie. Always be true, late to the party, but thank you for being here. I love the righteous anger. Keep cooking. Chef Zach, appreciate you. Maybe we make Goy at the end. Goy Max t-shirts. I can't spell the word. I like that. Goy Max. That's good. That's good. That one got me. Great comment. Thank you. Thank you from a regular. Elaine again. Thank you. Carrie just converted Catholic and called Trump MAGA. I've seen this a lot. This is one of the attacks on her. Oh my gosh. And this makes me so mad. For those of you guys that don't know, you don't just come into the Catholic Church and snap your fingers and then boom, you're baptized into the church. That's not the way that it works. You actually go through about a year of formation before you can join the Catholic Church, okay? Before you can actually be baptized and confirmed and receive the sacraments. You go through about a year of formation and education before you can just join it, okay? So for people to say like, oh, she's only been Catholic for, I don't know, 7 weeks, this doesn't give her the right to talk about anything. Look, all she did was simply state the truth about what Catholics believe. Okay, so she hasn't been a Catholic for a long time. Somebody said, well, Paul said that preachers should only be, very established, have years. I don't know the exact quote or the exact verse. Paul said you should be more established in the faith before you can be a preacher. Great. She's not a preacher. She's not a preacher. She just simply stated a fact in a public setting about what the church believes. She's allowed to do that, and she did it effectively. She was 100% accurate in what she said about Orthodox, Christian, or Catholic belief on the subject. Okay? So you have a lot of Catholics or Orthodox Christians coming out of the woodwork talking about how it's not Catholic what she did. Well, see, clearly she knows. It's like, I've been a Catholic for my whole life. Therefore, I know that Carrie Prejean Boller is an idiot. It's like, well, actually, it actually shows that you're an idiot and you don't know as much about the faith as she does because she's right and you're wrong. So what say you? Yeah, I think that's a bad argument. All right, guys. Last one. Elaine again. Zach, you're the best. Thank you. A Baron is attorney and is in deep. All right, cool. Again, a lot of mention of Baron Coleman here today. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. And again, if you're watching his show, hit me up. I mean, again, the way that we connect is when each one of us kind of hears about each other. And if we see it enough, then, there's obviously the higher likelihood that we're all going to get together. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Let's keep on this. Let's stay together. Let's continue to organize. Let's continue to get this thing together so that we can be a voice for conservative Christians in America and the world beyond. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you tomorrow.